Hello everyone, story time with Mr. Brine. This is story number 7 since we restarted this whole project in 2022 to help support me in my London Marathon fundraising efforts. If you would like a story, just leave a donation on the Just Giving link in the description and leave a comment with the story that you would like to see, and I will see what I can do. This story is dedicated to Niamh. So Niamh, thank you so much. Thanks to you and your family for supporting me in my efforts to do the London Marathon and to fundraise. I've asked Niamh a few times which story she would like, and she kept saying Elsa and Anna, Elsa and Anna. And I had to ask her a few times because we didn't have an Elsa and Anna story at preschool. So she's brought this one in. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Story for Niamh. So Niamh is actually mentioned in this story, which is pretty cool, I think. Clearly, she is a young lady who likes to get her money's worth. We could be here for some time. I'll do War and Peace afterwards, and just kidding. Yeah, settle yourselves down. Make sure you're sat comfortably. I'll read this book this way, and then I'll turn it around so you can see the pictures. So this is a story for Niamh. It was a late winter's evening, and Niamh had just climbed into bed. A day of playing in the snow can really take it out of you. It didn't take that long for Niamh to fall into a deep sleep and begin to dream. In the dream, Niamh could see King Anyar of Arundel. The king was telling his daughters Elsa and Anna about the North Uldra, a people who lived in harmony with the spirits of nature. The Arundelians had built them a dam as a peace offering. When the two groups gathered to celebrate, a fight broke out, and the enchanted forest was enclosed in a thick mist, and the two groups were stuck inside. There's the king, Elsa and Anna, and the queen. Their mother, Queen Iduna, sang a lullaby about a special river called the Atohallan, said to hold the answers about the past. Elsa and Anna still had many questions about Atohallan and the North Uldra, but their mother's lullaby had them sleeping in no time. Many years had passed since that night. Although their parents were gone, Anna and Elsa were incredibly close and had the friendship of Olaf, Kristoff and Sven. They all looked out for each other. One evening, the group were involved in their regular family game night, but Elsa was not herself. Niamh watched as she hurried away to her room. A voice had been calling to her, trying to draw her away from the kingdom. Later that night, the voice called her once again. Elsa walked down to the fjord. She used her magic, throwing it into the air, and suddenly an enormous shockwave swept across the fjord. The moisture in the sky froze into crystals that hung suspended in the air. Air, fire, water, earth, she said, pointing to the 4 different symbols of them. Niamh wanted to tell Elsa how beautiful the crystals were, but there was no time. A blinding flash of light came from the north, and the crystals dropped to the ground. Elsa raced towards the village. Look at those crystals. Once everyone was safe on the cliffs above Arundel, Elsa told Anna and Kristoff about the voice. Niamh knew that Elsa wanted to search for it. At dawn, Anna, Kristoff, Olaf and Sven joined Elsa, and they set off on their journey. Eventually, they reached what looked like a vast wall of glittering mist. Elsa ran for it. Slowly, the mist parted before them, and they found themselves in a clearing. Soft rays of the sun illuminated the forest. Olaf was especially mesmerised by the forest. Everything around Olaf suddenly seemed dangerous. Even the huge gust of wind seemed to be purposely speeding towards him. And it was. It was the wind spirit. It swept up Olaf at the very same moment his friends found him. As everyone tried to help, they too were caught up in the windstorm. Desperately, Elsa threw a stream of snow towards the centre of the storm. Snow filled the air and froze into beautiful ice sculptures. Each one appeared to represent a moment in time. A loud rustling from the bushes followed the emergence of a group of people. It was the trapped North Uldra and the Arundelians from King Anyar's story. The two sides immediately began arguing, as they had done for so many years, but soon stopped when they saw the ice sculpture, realising that the young girl who had saved Prince Anyar was part of the North Uldra. The sacrifice one enemy had made for another quickly melted away their differences. Niamh watched on as Elsa promised to free the forest and restore Arundel. The North Uldra and the Arundelians began to speak excitedly. They wanted nothing more than to be free of the forest. "We will do what we can," Anna assured them. Niamh knew that they hadn't got any more time to lose. Elsa continued the journey north with Anna, Olaf and Kristoff. In fact, Kristoff was nowhere to be found. He was busy with proposal plans for Anna. The group reached a shipwreck. Anna and Elsa realised that it was their parents' ship. Inside the shipwreck, Anna found a map. The sisters spread it out on the floor and saw that their parents' voyage had been to Atohallan to speak and seek the answers about Elsa's magic. Using her magic, Elsa pulled moisture from the old ship and created an image of their parents' journey. When the ice sculpture formed, it revealed their parents holding onto one another before the waves overcame them. Elsa ran from the ship. "This is my fault," she said tearfully. Anna insisted she wasn't responsible for the choices of their parents and reminded Elsa of her important quest. "I believe in you more than anyone or anything," she said. Elsa vowed to make it across the dark sea and find Atohallan, but she had to do it alone. Anna wanted to help and pleaded with her sister. "I can't lose you, Elsa." "I can't lose you either, Anna." Suddenly, Elsa magically created a boat under Anna and Olaf and sent them zipping down a path of ice. The boat slid across the dry land and dropped down a slope. Anna tried to stop the momentum of the boat but accidentally diverted it off the ice path. Anna and Olaf slipped into a river and floated away. Elsa had finally reached the north and stood at the edge of the chaotic, dark sea. She ran into the sea, encountering the water knock. Niamh watched in fascination as Elsa tamed the water spirit, and together they galloped across the sea, following the voice until they reached Atohallan. Elsa and Niamh discovered that Atohallan was a glacier. Big, big mountain of ice. Elsa stepped into the ice cave, following the haunting call. As she moved deeper in the caverns, she leapt across obstacles and down ravines. Nothing could stop her from getting to the voice. Elsa entered a big open room. Blurry images danced across the walls and ceiling. Elsa didn't understand what they were trying to tell her. But as Elsa sang, several images became clear, and she realised they were from the past. The woman who was looking at her, the voice that had been calling her, was the memory of her mother. Listening to the words of her mother's song, Elsa knew that Iduna had been calling her to finally become who she was always meant to be. As her powers grew and flourished, her true destiny revealed itself. Elsa transformed into the Snow Queen. Elsa discovered more memories with her power and found that the startling truth about the lies that had been told. Suddenly, the ice surrounded her. It moved up her body, freezing her solid. With her last breath, she desperately sent Anna a message. After being sent away by Elsa, Anna and Olaf found themselves in a dark cave. It was here that Elsa's message reached them. An ice statue formed, and Anna learned the truth. Their grandfather had attacked the North Uldra. He had caused the battle that made the spirits curse the forest and surround it with a thick mist. Anna looked over at Olaf. Flurries of snow drifted off his body. His fading magic meant that Elsa was in serious trouble. Anna hugged the little snowman tightly. "I love you," he said, trying to hold back his tears. As Olaf disappeared, Anna knew that Elsa was gone. Niamh felt so sad. How could Olaf and Elsa be gone? Anna took a deep breath. She had to be strong and do the right thing. Break the dam that was a symbol of hate and betrayal. She knew it would destroy her beloved Arendelle, but Niamh knew Anna had to do it to break the curse. Anna put her plan in motion. She made her way into the sleeping earth giants at the edge of the river, screaming at them to wake up. They slowly got to their feet and began chasing her. Anna led the earth giants to the dam. They hurled their boulders at Anna, destroying the dam in the process. Anna ran as the dam crumbled beneath her. She jumped and was grabbed by Kristoff moments before she fell. Wow, look at her go. Anna's selfless act made something happen in Attohallan. The ice holding Elsa cracked. Elsa mounted the water knock, and together they raced towards Arendelle. Elsa froze the water, rushing from the broken dam with her power. The village was saved. The mist cleared from the enchanted forest. The curse lifted, and the Arendellians and the Northuldra were finally free. They celebrated their freedom together. Anna and Elsa were reunited. Niamh smiled as the sisters hugged each other tightly. Elsa's place was in the forest with the spirits as the Snow Queen, while Anna's was back in her beloved kingdom as the Queen of Arendelle. Niamh watched on as Elsa brought Olaf back to life. The little snowman was delighted to see his friends. "You all came back," Olaf said. Kristoff knelt in front of Anna and held out a beautiful ring. "Will you marry me?" he asked. "Yes," she said. Oh, what a happy ending. Niamh watched with pride as Queen Anna looked out on her people. She presented them with a sculpture celebrating the peace between Arendelle and the Northuldra. It depicted her and Elsa's parents as youngsters. "Our lands and our people, now connected by love," she said. As the crowd celebrated, the wind spirit, who Olaf has now named Gale, appeared. "I've got a message for my sister," Anna said, holding up a note. Gale swept it out of the kingdom. Niamh wondered what the notes to Elsa said. Oh, I wonder what the note does say. Let's find out. Elsa took the note that Gale brought her. "Arendelle's doing just fine. Keep looking after the forest. I love you." Elsa smiled. Even though they lived apart, the sisters felt closer than ever. She greeted the water knock, and together they galloped as one. Suddenly, Niamh jolted out of the dream. The sun shone through the window, and Niamh could see the partially melted snow dripping from the trees outside. What a dream, Niamh thought. Here is Olaf with a special message. I hope you enjoyed this book, Niamh. And so do I.